Okay, we're going to start with our eyeball, and I'm still using an I9 5.5mm crochet hook. You are going to need an extra piece of yarn to use as a stitch marker. So we will go ahead and start with that. We're going to chain 2. You're going to want to do it a little looser so you can get into there. That's 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 5 single crochets in that first chain that we first did, the second chain from the hook. So just go in there, yarn over, yarn over. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then just go ahead and pull on that tail, and that will close this in, just like that. Okay, so now is when you want to add your stitch marker, so you don't have to count every time. Just hold that down, and we're still going to crochet right over our tail. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around now. And then this would be our first stitch over here. Might be a little difficult to get into to first start it. I'll pick up both of those stitches. There we go. Show it who's boss. So that would be 2 in there. And we're going to go all the way around to the stitch marker, doing 2 in each. And you want to do right even where that stitch marker is, because we haven't done that stitch yet. I think we're caught on something else here. There we go. Okay, we're going to pull our stitch marker out and go to the next, hold up to the next row, and now we're going to do a double crochet, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and 2, and then 1, 2, and then 1. So we are still increasing as we go around. So this would be 2, and then we're going to do 1, and then 2, and then 1. Let's go ahead and do that all the way around, and we'll continue. Okay, I finished that row, and I've moved my stitch marker up, and now we're going on to the third row, and we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 in each of the next stitches. That'll be 1, 2, and then an increase. Show you that again. 1, 2, and an increase. So go ahead and do that all the way around to the stitch marker, and we'll continue from there. Okay, we're getting a nice little curvature. This is exactly what we want. So now we're going to do 1 single crochet in that next stitch. And we're going to do a decrease. So you go into the next stitch, you pull up 2 in the loop, go into the next stitch, pull up, you have 3, yarn over and go through all 3. And then do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. Let me show you that again. Pull up, you got 2, go into the next one. Pull up, you have 3, go through all 3. Go ahead and continue this all the way around. This is going to start pulling our little eyeball in. Okay, we completed that round, and we're going to do a decreasing round again. And that's really going to pull this eye in. So go ahead and do 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease all the way around. Okay, so this is what you're ending up with, and you can go ahead and pull your stitch marker out at this point. You're going to want to leave yourself a longer tail. Go ahead and pull that through. And then you're going to want to trim your tail from the beginning and turn this right side out. Just like that. So go ahead and make 2 of those, and then we will continue. Okay, so you're going to want to take your black yarn, and I cut about 15 inches or so roughly, and I go ahead and threaded my needle. So you're going to need your needle handy at this point. And now you are going to go right through the center of the eye from behind. Tilt that, maybe you can see that a little better. So the center is right here, and we want to come up right through that. Just like this. And you're going to want to leave yourself a tail on the going through the inside, because we're going to use it to help us tie it off when we're done. So just take this, and we're going to go around the opening of that circle, just like this. It just makes it look more like an eye. Whoops, sorry about that. And just go around it a couple times to where you like what you see. And do that with both of your eyes, and we'll continue. Okay, I've got my eyes where I want it, and then just go back in. Just don't come out this time, and pull your needle through the back, just like that. And now you can use these 2 tails to tie it and knot it off. And then grab your white yarn and we'll continue. Okay, so with our white yarn, go ahead and thread your needle. And we're just going to go right back into the center. If you have a little bit of fuzzies, I don't know if you can see my fuzzies, but just cut them back a little bit. Yarn gets kind of fuzzy. Give it a little bit of a haircut. Okay, so just go into the center like we did before, just like that, and leave yourself a tail for tying when we're done again. Okay, so now we're just going to do some knots right here just to make the eye. Let me show you on my other one, just like that. So just 2 or 3 little knots at the end. Just like that. So how I've done it was I just made a loose knot in my hand, and then I guided it down to where I want it to knot. Come back closer so you can see. So I just guide the knot down where I want it. And by pulling on the back, you can pull it tight. And then the cool thing, if your knot ends up out here, it's okay, because you take your tail and go boop, just like that. Isn't that cool? Okay, so go ahead and knot it again. Try to go on top of the knot you already have. It's hard to see it in white on the camera, but it's right here. Right here at the top. So we want to just pull right there, just like that. And take your tail, pull it down, and then just go back down. Try to go in a different spot so it isn't going to come out. Just like that. We don't want it sticking out too much, but kind of flat. Just like that. So then just take this and knot it, and then grab your crochet hook and your black yarn, and we'll continue. I forgot to tell you, you can go ahead and grab your stuffing and put a little bit into your eye. How I like to do it to get it into that little space, I just kind of wrap it around my finger, kind of like this, and get it into a little bit of a ball, and just shove it in that eyeball, just like this. There, perfect. Okay, so grabbing our black, you are going to want to get about 2 yards length of your black, and then just cut it. And then taking the 2 ends, go ahead and make a slip knot at the end. So your 2 tails are right here. And we're going to make a slip knot here, just like that. And grab your hook, and we are going to chain. Let's see, how many did I say we're going to chain? We are going to chain 11. There's the phone making noise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we're going to do just slip stitches back. So we want it to be thick, but we don't want it to have holes in it. So go to that second chain. Let me bring that closer. And it's black again, so it's hard to see, but we don't want to go into this open one. We want to go right there. So go into that stitch. Make sure you're picking up both of those, and then just slip stitch it. Go into there and then pull back through. Make sure again you pick up both. Slippery little sucker likes to come right out. There we go. And then just do that slip stitch all the way down to form our eyebrow. Let's go ahead and do that and tie it off at the end with your chain and pull it tight. Oops, almost did a single, and we'll continue from there. Okay, so there's our completed little eyebrow. Just want to kind of roll it a bit. And there's our tails. So now we're going to go on with our pink, with our light pink that we used to make the hat, and we are going to make the eyelids. Go ahead and grab that in your crochet hook, and we'll continue. Okay, so we are going to chain 4, and we're going to make a circle, so just slip stitch right into that first chain. And now we're going to do 12 double crochets right into the center, which is right there. So, holding our tail down, go right into the center here. Go ahead and do that, and then tie and go up to the next one and complete this row, and we'll continue from there. Okay, so I've gone ahead and closed this off and done my chain 2, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around up to 18, because we need to stop at that point. So do your double crochet right here and here to the same stitch. That would be considered 2, so do 8 more for a total of 18, because 9 times 2 is 18. So do 18 double crochets and then stop at that point, and we'll continue from there. Okay, now we're going to move our stitch marker up, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in one stitch, and then 1 single crochet and 2, and then 1. So go ahead and continue this row around, and we'll go on from there.